Hi. So why would you want to go to the trouble of learning something you already know? It's a ridiculous concept that we spend so much time trying to learn things about the golf swing when we already have so many of the skills necessary to hit that ball to where we want it to go. But the crux of the matter is most times we stand up on that golf tee and we hope that it doesn't go somewhere we don't want it to go. And you have to wonder what would happen if you decided that there was a specific place that you wanted to hit that ball, and then think about all the things that you could do now to give it a better chance than it currently had, and then how you can optimize that even further by allowing the brain to be focused and give you everything it can through the neural pathways and do everything it can with desire to get that ball to go where you want it to go. So let's continue just a little bit the metaphor that we started talking about yesterday, which was the dustbin lid. So we just take that a little bit further, and we've got a golf hole here with a little bit of a lake here, and if we aim to try and get it on the fairway here, which is, let's say, 50 yards wide, and we miss that fairway by 6 inches, then we're in the rough. And if we miss it by 2 foot, we're in the lake. Now if we aim at a pinprick that's in the centre and miss that by 24 yards, we're actually in the fairway. Let's take this a little bit further. In that we, on the chipping, what I used to do a lot with clients, and I showed the coaches how to do, is to set up a step ladder. And let's say that these are, I don't know, 1 metre apart, and we were 5 metres away. And what I'd get them to do was they had to work their way up the ladder, trying to get the ball in each step of that ladder, landing without bouncing, and that would test their skills, test their ability to feel the weight of that club head and move it that certain distance. Now here's the really interesting thing. A lot of people failed at this level, some failed at that, most started to fail at that, nearly all failed at that, and then we got the winner somewhere between those two. But what I did was, all of the people that missed this one, I made one subtle difference. I then went and put a T-peg with a ball on top of it and asked them to knock the ball off the T-peg. And almost without exception, let's say at least as high as 90%, they then got the ball inside the step of the ladder, and about 10% actually knocked the ball off. So there was this, well, who knows what it is, how the brain conspires to deliver what it attracts. But the clearer you are in allowing the mind to know what it's got to do, the more it's attracted, the more that first of all you take careful aim at the ball, that you use your eyes to focus in on it, that you feel and also notice the ball coming off, and then you hit it and then it goes there, whereas before you were just hoping that you didn't miss it. I first started to notice this idea of pinprick aim when I was standing over a putt one day from about, I think it was about 4 foot, and I decided that I wanted to lip that putt. I was on the practice green before going out and playing Portugal, and I really focused on the lip. I looked at it, I noticed how high it was, and I felt the stroke, and then I hit the stroke and I got it to lip and come back at me. That was probably the first time that I began to notice this phenomenon. And later on, sure, there's quite a few scientists talking about it, and there are some challenges to it. But that day, when I putted, the putting round was absolutely incredible, because I was so finite in where I wanted to go it, i.e. to a pinprick, and also I worked out the speed exactly I had to work for it to lip, i.e. I didn't want it just catching it and going on, or catching it and going in. It had to be such a speed that it actually came back to me. So I'm going to develop this a little bit further and give you all of its connotations as we go. But for me, this more than any other part of golf is something that you can have now if you apply yourself to it. Have a great weekend. The sun's out there. Just stay safe, and I'll see you again tomorrow.